What's up, Squash Man Unspoken Reviews, back again with another video, and today we're going to be doing a slight review on the new teaser that did drop for Avengers Doomsday, and that is centered around Steve Rogers returning to the MCU. All right, guys, so the last time we did see our beloved Steve Rogers, it was towards the end of Endgame. He, however, returned all the stones back to their original spot in the timeline. However, he did choose to remain in the past alongside Peggy Carter and give the mantle of Captain America over to Sam Wilson, something that does happen in the comics. Some fans were happy about it. Quite a few many fans have not been happy about it. Despite this was the choice that Marvel made, and it seems that they were at peace with the decision, despite how people may have felt. However, fast forward through time, Marvel and Disney have not made all the best decisions regarding the MCU, and a couple bad decisions regarding the woke has kicked them in the balls. And because they've made so many mistakes, they have also ruined so many characters such as Moon Knight, She-Hulk, the Eternals, Kate Bishop. They wasted a lot of potential as well as a lot of villains that they could have used, such as Kang, and have decided to make a desperate play to bring back a bunch of the old guard. This also includes RDJ as the new Doctor Doom, a decision that I feel is completely desperate. However, a lot of fans say that they're excited about it. I'm just kind of like, nah. I mean, RDJ did a great job as Tony Stark, and it sucked to see his character die in the events of Endgame. However, it was an essential story as his arc had completed itself. I just felt that Steve Rogers had completed his arc and finally got the piece that he sought after. All right. However, it seems they decided to get desperate again and bring back Chris Evans, despite the fact that he'd been doing a lot of the Andrew Garfield behavior, trying to tell people he wasn't coming back. However, with this new teaser that we got, it seems that he will be returning not as Captain America, but just as Steve Rogers. All right, so I'm going to go through what we see in the teaser. I'm not going to place it up here. I do know that Marvel and Disney are likely headhunting to get anyone who is posting anything about it, because in order to see this teaser, I believe you had to go see the Avatar film, Fire and Ash, and I have not really been a fan of the Avatar films, so it was a shoulder shrug from me. I'm not really worried about seeing the movie. I just think it's kind of a desperate play once again on Marvel's part to try to put a teaser like this in a movie theater. I mean, come on. You had to know somebody was going to post it somewhere. I don't understand why Marvel and Disney don't just stop being stupid and just post it the day after they release the film. It will work better for everyone else. Anyway, so this teaser does settle in the past. I believe after he has settled down with Peggy Carter, we see he does pull up on a motorcycle, which we do know is something he always uses. He takes off a helmet that's kind of reminiscent from the first Avenger. And, we see that he does go inside his home and he does pull out the Captain America uniform. It seems that he kept it with him all these years while living in the past. And he's also holding a little baby with him. It seems that I believe this is one of two children. I'm not exactly sure how many him and Peggy have, but it's pretty cool to see that he not only had a great life with someone he loved, he got to make little babies and raise them up to be great men, as I'm pretty sure only he could do. And it's pretty interesting to wonder what's going to happen with him going forward in Doomsday and why is he involved in it. Now, many people have speculated that he calls an incursion, where if something happens when someone travels into a different part of the timeline or a different universe, and they do something that kind of ruins the way that is structured up, and thus the Time Variance Authority has to destroy it and erase that part of the timeline. So it makes me wonder if his events of living with Peggy Carter has caused some issues and Doctor Doom is blaming him for these issues and is either coming after him or forcing him to work with him. And I don't believe that's the case, because Steve Rogers is not a pushover. He's not just going to bend because someone comes complaining to him about something. If anything, he's going to put up a fight. So it makes me wonder if Steve is going to stand with the rest of the Avengers against Doom, or is Doom going to do something to coerce him into fighting alongside him. This also begs to wonder, because if you pay attention to the very end tagline of this teaser, it says Steve Rogers will return. It does not say Captain America will return. I'm very happy about this. I was worried because so many people missed Chris Evans as Steve Rogers as Captain America. People didn't really like Sam Wilson as Captain America, that people think that he would just have to automatically give back the shield. And it's really funny because that's something that happens in the comics. Recently, I was reading some of the comics with Sam Wilson as he recently became Captain America. And many people were complaining, saying that he's quote unquote not their Captain America, which is something people do say in comments. If you look at Facebook or social media comments about Brave New World, people were not happy about it, and they saying he's not their Captain America. It's funny because it's the exact same thing that's said in the comics. However, Steve Rogers is old man Steve Rogers in those comics, and he's working alongside S.H.I.E.L.D., but he definitely supports Sam Wilson, even though he doesn't support every single decision that he's made during the events of those comics. Steve does end up touching the cosmic cube, and he goes from old man Steve to young man Steve again. And after the public finds out that he's young man Steve, they all believe that he should resume the mantle of Captain America and that Sam Wilson needs to give back the shield, something that he's unwilling to do. And Steve Rogers is unwilling to do because he named Sam Wilson as Captain America, and he has no intention of taking back the shield, saying that he gave his friend that position and he had no intention of taking it back from him. And I think that's pretty awesome. I hope it's something that's said here in the film. I'm pretty sure once Steve Rogers makes himself known, people are going to be like, all right, Sam, Steve's back. You should give back the shield. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a moment between both characters where Steve tells him, no, I gave you the shield for a reason. I don't plan on taking it back. You are Captain America. That makes me wonder if he's going to be a version of Nomad from the comics. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. But it's going to be pretty awesome seeing that display, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, all right, Steve Rogers is back. Now Sam has to give up the shield. No. Even in the MCU, Steve had actually told Bucky what he planned on doing before leaving and going backwards in time, that he was going to make Sam Wilson the new Captain America. He already planned on it from the start, and I know Steve Rogers is not going to go backwards in time. It is going to be pretty cool seeing Chris Evans come back. However, once again, I feel like this is a desperate play to get fans in the seats, that they're trying to go back to the old guard. I think the part that makes it feel more desperate, bringing back Steve Rogers, is that it just shows once again that Marvel had no faith to move forward and no plan. And I hope that after they do this soft reboot, they really take the time, matter of fact, in the events leading up to Doomsday, that they are ready to move forward and let these characters grow. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a bunch of recasting. Perfectly fine with that. I just feel like it's such a desperate play. They had a great universe going for themselves. And if they really committed to such things as Kang, such as Kang killing Ant-Man, showing up with the Eternals, giving different characters opportunities to shine throughout the MCU, this could have been a great universe moving forward. But once again, it's a desperate play. I'm perfectly fine with Chris Evans coming back. He does a great job as Steve Rogers, and I can't wait to see what they do with the rest of the teasers. I just feel like they're trying to rely on the old guard to end something that was already ended before. Just feels like a stretch to me. But that was my review on just this teaser, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Are you pumped to see Avengers Doomsday? Are you pumped to see more teaser trailers? Or do you feel like this is mostly a desperate play on Marvel's part in order to save face? All right, guys. I've been Unspoken Reviews, and I will catch you guys in the next one.